forget, there was no one at home.
Yes, ma'am.
Gee, I'm glad that's over.
Fredericka Washington, also known as Fredi, was born December 23, 1903 in Savannah, Georgia. Her father, Robert, was a postal worker, and her mother, Harriet, was a dancer. Both of her parents were African American, but they had European ancestors, and that is why Fredi had pale skin, green eyes, and light brown hair. She was the second child out of 9 children. When Fredi was just 11 years old, her mother, Harriet, passed away. She was the oldest girl, so she had to help raise her other siblings along with her grandmother. Years later, during the Great Migration, her family moved to Harlem, New York, and she graduated from Julia Richmond High School. Her musical career began in 1921 at 18 years old. As a dancer in the Broadway musical Shuffle Along, she was also hired by Josephine Baker as a member of a group called Happy Honeysuckles. This led to her being discovered by producer Lee Sherbert. At age 23, he recommended that she co-starred in a play called Black Boy. Her performance was wonderful, and she quickly gained popularity as a dancer and toured internationally with her dancing partner, Al Moret, for 2 years. When she returned to the States, she starred in her first film called Black and Tan, in which she portrayed a cotton club dancer who was dying. Her next role was at age 30 in a film called Emperor Jones, starring Paul Robeson. In the film, her skin had to be darkened with makeup because she was too light, and they didn't want the audience to think Robeson was making love scenes with a white woman. During those times, this was not uncommon, and actually, there were a few more times where Fredi's skin had to be darkened. In an article, it is said that Fredi and Robeson had an on and off relationship that lasted 2 decades, but it was never confirmed. In 1933, Fredi married her first husband, Lawrence Brown, a trombonist in Duke Ellington's jazz orchestra. Her marriage later ended in divorce, possibly in 1951. At age 31 in 1934, she played Piola in The Imitation of Life. This would become her best-known role. In 2007, Time magazine ranked it as 25 most important films on race. In this film, she plays a light-skinned woman who passes to be white. She did so well playing her character that many believe she wanted to pass as white in real life. Fredi loved being African American and was quoted saying repeatedly, "I don't want to pass because I can't stand insincerities and shams. I am just as much Negro as any of the others identified with the race. I have never tried to pass for white and never had any desire. I am proud of my race. In Imitation of Life, I was just showing how a girl might feel under the circumstances, but I am not showing how I felt." End quote.
Viola, child, I'm your mammy.
Why, that's ridiculous. I never saw you before in my life.
What's the meaning of this?
This woman doesn't know what she's talking about. Do I look like her daughter?
Her last appearance in film was in 1937 at age 34. She played Flora Jackson in 1 Mile to Heaven. In this role, she played a woman who claimed to be the mother of a white baby. After this film, she retired from Hollywood. She realized that there weren't many leading roles for her. Even though she had the talent, she would have to settle for maid roles, which she didn't want to do. But even that was an issue because her skin was too light, so she wasn't hired for many all-black films. Filmmakers did try to convince her to pass in order to further her career, but she refused. And when asked why she didn't want to pass, she told reporters that "I'm honest, firstly, and secondly, you don't have to be white to be good. I spent most of my life trying to prove to those who think otherwise. I am a Negro and I am proud of it." End quote. Although she retired from doing Hollywood, she still did other stage roles in 1939, including one with her sister. She also helped with casting in films such as Carmen Jones. Fredi wanted to help other actors find more opportunities, so she became a civil rights activist. She co-founded the Negro Actors Guild of America with other African American actors, and she served as the organization's first executive secretary. They spoke out against stereotyping and advocated for a wider range of roles. She was very outspoken when it came to black rights. In 1943, she did a radio tribute to black women that was produced by the National Urban League. And from 1942 to 1948, she was the entertainment editor for People's Voice, a newspaper for African Americans. She worked closely with the president of the then NAACP to address pressing issues facing black people in America. In 1952, Fredi retired from the spotlight and married Dr. Hugh Anthony Bell, a dentist, and moved to Greenwich, Connecticut. They were married for 18 years until he died in 1970. Fredi did not have any children. Her last place of work was at a retail store called Bloomingdale's in Connecticut. She worked there from 1954 to 1980. On June 28, 1994, Fredi passed away at St. Joseph's Medical Center. She got sick with pneumonia after a series of strokes. Fredi never got the recognition she deserved. She was beautiful, talented, and I love that she stood up for her rights. Fredericka Washington, Bell's legacy will be remembered. Comment down below your thoughts on this glamorous queen.